Hey, it's me. Aria, I just wanted to quick explain rate versus unit rate because I even had to look at that again. Um, so rate is like you could say like anything per anything. So for example, you could say $15 per 2 weeks. I don't know. Or you could say 30 miles per 10 minutes. A rate is always going to have this like line which represents per. It means for every, like we talked about with percent means for every 100. In this case it means for every whatever that is. So these are all rates. It's how quick something changes based on another variable. So in this case it would be like how much the money changes based on the weeks, how much the miles change based on the time. A unit rate is when you would have like 1 on the bottom. So it would be like per 1 week, or here it would be per 1 minute, or it could be per 1 ounce. So a unit is 1, and that's why it's a unit rate, because it's one of whatever you're talking about. Okay. So, Mom sent me a couple pictures yesterday, and one of them was like of a table, and it said, I tried to upload it on here, but I couldn't figure it out. So it's the one that's 4-101 in the picture, if you wanted to like look at that. But what it says here is it's like time and distance. And time is in seconds in this one, and distance is in meters. So what happened is they gave you some numbers. So they said like 5, 10, 15, 20, and then it looks like you added 30 because, yeah, they wanted you to add 30. So hopefully what you noticed is that this was going up 5 every time. Okay, this was going up 5, 5, 5, 5. And then when you looked at the meters, whoopsie, sorry. That one was going 11, 22, 33, 44, and then you had 66. So this one was going up 11, up 11, 11, 11, 11. And you're Smarty Pants McGee, so you just skipped over this one. But like if you wanted to continue the pattern, you could have done this, but you didn't really need to do that. So if they're just asking about a rate, what you would say in this case is you would say that the rate is 5 seconds, because that is this top change that's happening, and it's in seconds. So 5 seconds per, nope, what am I thinking? Sorry, I meant to reverse that. Because they want meters per second. I'm so sorry. So ignore what I just said. In the like part, what does it say? Part A, it says what is Beth's rate of travel? Write it as a unit rate, meters per second. So as a regular rate, you would do your meters on top because it says meters per second. So you would say 11 per, that's what this line means. And then seconds would go on the bottom, which in this case would be 5. So 11 meters per second. But again, that's not a unit rate. A unit rate means like per 1 second. So what you would have to do, and it's kind of silly because it doesn't really like make sense, I guess, because it's not going to be nice. But what you would want to do is take 11 divided by 5. and that would give you 2.2. So what that means is every single second, she's going 2.2 meters. That would be like per 1 second. So it's for every second. So when you type it in and reduce it, it becomes 2.2 meters per 1 second. So this would be your unit rate. Again, I know it's gross, but it's basically like a different way to think about it would be like, let's say you can buy 10 shirts. Shirts for, sorry if you heard Finn screaming for his life in the background. Let's say you can buy 10 shirts for $45. The unit rate would be basically asking how much is it per shirt. So here, what you would do is you'd say, okay, well, it's $45 per 10 shirts, but who usually buys 10 shirts? That's weird. So if you took 45 divided by 10, 45 divided by 10, that means that one shirt is going to cost $4.50. So you would come here and you'd say, oh, okay, $4.50 per one shirt. Makes a little more sense in this context versus this weird like 2.2 meters a second. And then it says if Amy travels at a rate of 75 meters per 30 seconds, is she traveling faster or slower? So she's doing 75 meters per 30 seconds. This is why unit rate is helpful, because you can compare like terms. You can compare them similarly because you don't really know like how that compares to that. So there's actually two ways you could do it. Just so you practice with the unit rate, do 75 divided by 30. And you get 2.5. So this person is going 2.5 meters every 1 second. So if you ran this and she ran that, basically the question is who would be further, and it would be Amy, I guess. I don't know what. Sorry, I should go back. Apparently this is Beth and this is Amy. Because this number is bigger, that means she would make it further in the same amount of time, so Amy would be going quicker. If that makes sense. The other way you could do it, just fun fact, is you could get this to see how much it would be in 30 seconds. This is like those proportions that we were talking about, or like equal ratios. If you multiply this by 6 and this by 6, your denominator becomes 30 also, and your numerator becomes 66. So 75 is bigger than 66. So yeah, a rate just means like what's happening per one unit, and it just kind of depends on what they ask. I use this a lot when I shop. So if I'm looking at like peanut butter, Mom can show you next time you go shopping, but you'll see the price of the peanut butter, and then also it will tell you how many ounces the container is if you just like look at the peanut butter container. And like it might be 16 ounces. So I want to know what the price per ounce is because I'm a cheap person and I want to make sure to save money. So what I would do is I would take the money divided by the ounces. So like in this case, 389 divided by 16. So that type of peanut butter would be 24 cents per ounce. 0.24 per 1 ounce. And then if you looked at another peanut butter, because you know they have those huge jars, which really is what the boys should have all the time. They're more expensive, so they might be like $9.89, but they'll be like 40 ounces. So I would want to see what is cheaper and then just buy it, because I know they'll eat it all. So in this case, we would do $9.89 divided by 40. So $9.89 divided by 40. Okay, well, these are super similar, which makes sense because they'll usually do that. Notice how it's 24.3 cents versus 24.7 cents. So this, if we went like this guy would be cheaper, so I would just get more of that. If literally any of this didn't make sense, just tell Mom and I'll call. Okay, bye.